Hello, it's Yvonne back to do your bonus read. I was having a think this morning about judgmentality. You know, when you grow up and you grow up in a house where you are influenced by very judgmental parents and you start to question about judgment. And I learnt long ago that, especially in the Bible, judgment wasn't a good thing. Judging others was not a good thing. So I have the Temperance card here with the Emperor. And I see it all the time with people and places, and I think especially when it comes to religion, there is so much judgment. And I'm like, that makes no sense to me when the Bible talks about not being judgmental. I feel like sometimes people get the two mixed up. Being judgmental is very, very different to making a judgment. Why? Because when we make a judgment, it's not always a negative thing. So if you're given two options and you judge that you want to move with one rather than the other, and you're making a choice on that, you're not necessarily doing something that is impeding you or stopping your life from moving forward in any way, shape or form. Being judgmental is being stuck in your ideas of what is right and wrong. It's about self-righteousness. So when we say people are being judgmental, it means that they're not able to be open-minded or see beyond their own choices. So for example, if you have an idea that people shouldn't be prostitutes, and your judgment says to you that if people are prostitutes, then they're no good, or they're bad, or they're evil, or whatever else, then you are being judgmental. You're not being open-minded to understand that people have their own choices and their own judgments, and that's the way they've chosen to go. The way you see it is very personal to you, but you're not allowing yourself to grow in doing that. We see very judgmental people when it comes to things like racism. We see judgmental people when it comes to things like tarot readers. And I've seen this so much lately, and I feel like it's really starting to stand out how people have got fixed ideas on how things should be from their own judgmental perspective. So it may be that they believe in some way, shape or form that their way is the only way, and that is self-righteousness. So a lot of us starting to understand that actually what we believe or what we've been led to believe from our social conditioning is the right way. And maybe there is no right way or wrong way. So maybe looking into it. For example, I feel like sometimes, when people criticize the way you do things or become critical, and again, I see a big difference between criticism and feedback. So if you're, say, a tarot reader and somebody says to you, I love what you do, it's really great, but it would be really nice if you do these type of readings. That is feedback. When you get someone who says, why are you doing it that way? That's not the way to do it. You should be doing it this way. That is criticism. And we're seeing it quite a lot lately. We're seeing a very big divide in the world at the moment, and people becoming even more judgmental and more self-righteous. But for those of us who have worked so much on that, we are starting to see it. Oh, wow. We are starting to see it in a very different way. So when people are being generous with their feedback or kind to the way you are, then that in itself is really beautiful and very generous in a karmic way, and that's how you win your rewards. When you are being bitter and mean to people because you feel that your way is the only way, that is just being very critical and unfair. So I feel like I just need to talk about that a little bit, because I'm seeing it so much lately. Not just in what I do, but in what other people are doing. That's becoming a little bit divided. So, and I've learned over the years through all my learning, through welfare, psychology, social science, that it's not a matter of just saying to people that is unfair or cruel. It's a matter of people now recognizing when they're doing it themselves. So maybe we do need to remind people every now and again, you know, to be grateful for what they have, to be grateful for who you are, but not to make judgments on other people who aren't in that same position or don't have the same opportunities as you. Because sometimes that will make people look different to us, and different is good. Different is really good. And we can learn from different. We don't need to judge because it makes us feel uncomfortable. All right, let's get into your bonus reading. We're going to use the Before Tarot for your reading today. And look at this. So we get the Ten of Pentacles coming out for the What's Cracking reading, and I get the Ten of Cups coming out for the bonus reading. The Ten of Cups is a card that talks again about abundance. Now you've got to remember these are tens. They are the end of a cycle, but it means that you're finishing a cycle. You have learned a lot during this time, and there is something beautiful now on the horizon for you because you've completed something that's going to help you move forward in a very different way. It may be that you've completed a cycle of self-love and now you have an opportunity to build a family, meet someone who's like-minded. The Ten of Cups is like all happiness and unicorns. It's a beautiful card. All right, so for some of you here, you've moved away from something, but you have learned those lessons. You have learned how to understand the things you've been taught along the way. So this Six of Swords is sailing you right towards that Ten of Cups. So for some of you here, your learnings, the things you've seen along the way have brought you into a much more gracious time. You are starting to understand perhaps some of the things about yourself that you've been doing in the past that have been creating, you know, so much difficulty for you rather than seeing your world as easy to move through. Really interesting energy. All right, so there's been a big change here. The Death card talks about shedding something here. Shedding a past idea, shedding a past energy, shedding something that wasn't serving you in order to move forward. So I feel like you're going straight from the Six of Swords straight to that Ten of Cups. You may have had an epiphany. There may be some sort of realization here, but it feels like it's really sudden for me. Like, I get it now. I get it. I see it. Because you're moving very, very quickly here into a brand new energy. And there you are in all your glory. What a beautiful card. So the Nine of Pentacles talks about being self-sufficient, having enough money, having enough. It's that feeling of being grateful for everything you have in your life. And even if it's not much, you're still finding that part of yourself that says, I feel really good with where I am in my life. I don't need to worry about what's coming in the future. I've let the past go and I'm comfortable to be grounded in my own skin here. Beautiful energy. Same energy as the What's Cracking reading. So this is letting go of some sort of fear here. Some sort of fear that's held you back. Something here that has held on to you for a very long time that's created anxiety. You've let some sort of anxiety go here. I feel like this is almost like a mini death of something. So it does feel like it's quick, it's sudden, and it's a realization. And we have this Ace of Cups. So maybe you finally got into the place of true love for yourself and you understand what that is. And I bet if I went on, there would be an energy. There's the Ten of Pentacles. There's an energy of you just understanding now what's held you back. This is the Before Tarot, so it's a little bit different to the Tarot. And in this one, we actually see him drinking from the cup. So this is really beautiful here. So it's like you have learned to drink from your own cup. But whatever this is, it feels like it was almost sudden for you. It may have just been that moment when you went, oh, I get it now. All that work I've been doing, I get the whole thing. It's all falling into place here. This is the real Page of Cups, Page of Pentacles energy for me, where I say to you, the universe is about to give you something. You know, sometimes this can come in a way that you don't expect, like somebody saying something, watching something on television. It's like you're getting messages from your angels, your spirit guides, whoever you sort of confide in here. This is coming to you as a bang up moment. Here it is. Beautiful energy. And the High Priestess. So we do have some repeating cards here from the What's Cracking reading. The High Priestess is a card that talks about inner knowing. It is about, we were talking about this in the beginner's class the other day, because when you look at this card and you start sort of pulling apart the components, there is so many different religions in here. But it's about the overarching spirituality of this energy. This is about your own spiritual self, your own religion, who you are, what you stand for. Regardless of the other religious ideas around you, you are standing in your own truth here, and you are accepting your own spirituality. And this is opening you up here for the energy of your intuition to really flourish. It's beautiful energy. Okay. I have the Page of Swords coming through with the Tower. This is what I was talking about with this epiphany here. There's a closing out of some sort of cycle. And it's got something to do with your intuition. So I feel like for some of you, this may be that energy of, you know, seeing something for the first time. Maybe seeing something that's held you back for such a long time. Seeing how you have influenced yourself in a certain way. Because the Tower is a beautiful card, because it talks about breaking down the old to rebuild the new. It's not a bad energy. It can be something that's sudden or something fairly drastic, yes, but it's there to help you rebuild from that. So it's building, it's like pulling down an old house that's really can't be lived anymore. So, you know, you may be pulling down an old derelict side of yourself to rebuild a new beautiful home. That is the energy of the Tower. Something here doesn't serve you anymore. Something here is not for your best interest. And you are definitely letting something go here with the Ten of Wands. So this is really beautiful energy. So the Seven of Pentacles talks about planting seeds now for something to grow in the future. So it's like you've completely annihilated what was there before. It's taken away all of these ideas or way of doing or way of being that you've been living in for such a long time, and showing you how to let go of that and move forward. There's passion here. There's the Nine of Cups. We're talking about wishes coming true, things coming towards you now because you're unblocked. You're not holding on to the blockage of the past. You're trusting yourself here. You're trusting yourself here to bring in what you want. And you're planting those seeds knowing that they will come to fruition. Okay, the Hierophant with the World card. And the Hermit. Look at that. All major arcanas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So half the reading major. And with that sitting with the Nine of Cups, that's such a powerful energy here. There is something becoming more stable about you, something that you are starting to understand about yourself, which is becoming more, it's more comfortable to live with. So maybe you've been doing something for a while which has been a little difficult for you, or a little difficult for you to move forward on. So say, for example, and I know I always use the idea of an astronaut, but I can't help myself. It's just something that's I've seen, and it just always sat with me. You want to become an astronaut, but when you were young, your parents encouraged you to do a degree in architecture. And you've become a great architect. It was no problem there, but you've always felt unsatisfied because in your heart, you knew you were an astronaut. You knew that that was what you wanted to do, but you've been socially conditioned to follow where you feel that everybody expected you to do. Well, somehow or another here, there is this wake-up call where you've just got up one morning and you've gone, I should have trusted myself in the first place. I should have trusted that what I actually wanted was to be an astronaut. But I let everything, the world, my conditioning, my family, talk me out of that and tell me what was good for me. And I know now it's not what I want. So I feel like here, your stability, closing out this past cycle, is like going to be natural for you. You're allowing something to go because you're going to follow your dream here with this 9 of Cups. This is about closing something out from your past now to build the stability here that you need. But the stability in the Hierophant makes me feel like somehow or another this is just about you trusting yourself. It's about you understanding your own power, standing in your own power and trusting the energy of what you want to do. So I feel like here with the Hermit, it's definitely for me about the planting of the seeds for the future. And it's sort of like you don't want to be hearing the, you know, you've passed it, you've gone past it, it's too late, you're too old. You don't want to hear that because you know that this is possible here. This is entirely possible. I watched something the other day on that woman who was a gymnast. I can't remember, she was 90 something, 92, 96, but she was in her 90s. And she's still an incredible gymnast. And you see somebody who, because they've done their gymnastics all their life, their body is lithe and supple. So they can still continue to do those things because they've always done them, which is absolutely incredible. So I feel like somehow or another here, you may be going after that dream and releasing something or closing something out from the past. This is not about you closing out your degree as an architect. It's not about that at all. It's about you letting go of all these things that have held you back and trusting what you have to build the life you want. Fabulous energy coming through in the readings this morning. Fabulous energy. Okay, let's pull you an oracle card. Oh, there it is. Stand still. Okay, that's sort of Hermit energy for me right there. All right, it's a card of 52. When standstill appears, it is a symbol of pausing, the act of observation and breathing space. It represents the benefits of temporary non-action as well as what happens when one is stuck. When things seem to stall or stagnate, or when you feel stuck, this symbol appears as a reminder that constant action isn't going to get you where you want to go. Perhaps it's time to gather more information or just wait until the universe makes the next move. No matter what, this moment is a beautiful gift orchestrated in your favour. Enjoy it. Let the universe bring all the parts together for the highest good. Go and play, recharge, and take the focus off whatever is stalled. Life will get busy again for you sooner than you think. And this is what I say, when you're in a standstill or in a pause, it's usually because the universe wants you to grow in some way, shape or form. It's almost like a resting place or a holding pattern. So a lot of people say, I feel really, really stuck at the moment. And I say to them, if you're feeling stuck, immerse yourself in your own creativity. Do what you need to do to grow because you're being given the opportunity for growth. When things are ready to move back into being, they will move forward. And I feel this is the Hermit energy for you at the moment. So maybe you're in the energy of pausing before you make your next big decision. All right, I will leave you with that. Thank you.